Hey people, welcome to the Run Testers. Now we've been back on the trails putting the test miles in wearing the INOV8 Trailfly Max. This is a bigger stacked alternative to INOV8's Trailfly that uses a new supercritical Flyspeed Pro Foam. It's aiming to create a responsive ride that's good for hard packed trails and ultra adventures. So how does this new shoe stack up? Well, let's get into it in our INOV8 Trailfly Max review. Quick details first, then starting with the stack height. The Trailfly Max has 35mm on the heel, 29mm on the forefoot for a 6mm drop. It weighs in at 288 grams or 10.2 ounces in my UK men's 8.5 test shoe. On price, it's going to set you back £150 in the UK or $170 in the US. Let's give you a quick look at what's new. And INOV8 says it's taken the Trailfly and it's maxed it out with a larger stack of new supercritical nitrogen-infused Flyspeed Pro Foam in the midsole. The aim is a comfortably cushioned but naturally responsive ride that's good for long distances and ultras over hard-packed trails. There's also a 6mm boomerang footbed inside that's made from expanded TPU beads. Up top you've got mesh uppers and you've got some added overlays to provide some toe protection. You've got an ultra-esque foot-shaped design here, this sort of anatomical toe box. You've also got what INOV8 calls Met Cradle overlays to provide the lock-in for the heel and the midfoot. The heel collars are medium padded. You've got quite a low heel counter here. The gusseted tongues are also nicely well padded. When you flip them over, you've got INOV8's trademark graphene-infused rubber outsole, 4mm multi-directional lugs on there, and some underfoot flex grooves that are supposed to work with your natural foot movement to give some extra agility to the shoe. Now when it comes to fit, I ran in a UK 8.5, US 9.5 in the standard fit shoe. I really like the more natural toe box. That's a standout for me. It follows the kind of sweep of your toes like you'll find on ultra shoes. But overall, I found the fit here a little bit more snug. I wanted more room at the end of the toe box specifically and a little bit more width, particularly if I was going to run longer hours in the Trailfly Max. Everything was just bordering on being a bit cramped. So maybe I'd want to look at choosing the different fit. I also have some issues with the heels. When I put them on, the padding doesn't always feel like it's in place up the back of the heel. It sort of squashes down and balls up a bit. It's all a bit awkward. I have to really tug at the top of the heel collar and try to work it all to get it sitting nice. And even then, it's not always possible. It doesn't always happen on both shoes, which is weird, but there's something that's just not quite right. It may be those kind of lower heel counters, and it's all quite soft here. But in terms of general fit, I'd recommend either going for the wide if you've got kind of wider foot, or going half a size up if you're planning to take these on long or ultra mileage. Now in testing, I've run close to 30 miles in the Trailfly Max, and as with a lot of the trail testing I do, that's mainly been on the kind of runnable, less technical terrain, hard-packed forest trails, compacted mud. I've also run sort of fields, I've done some sand dunes, I've done wet sand beaches, I've done plenty of road miles to get to all of that. But, you know, the one caveat here is I've done nothing that's particularly challenging in terms of the steepness or the rocky kind of rooted, cluttered terrain that you might find, you know, on sort of mountain ultras. It's all been stuff that you can pretty much run freely and attack at pace if you really want to. Now the ride underfoot, I would say, is soft enough with a bit coming back from the midsole. I kind of get that familiar INOV8 feel, but with a more cushioned edge that's got a bit more energy to it as well. It's not quite as direct as some INOV8 shoes, but you're not going to lose all of the ground feel that I think INOV8 always delivers and is one of the sort of standouts for their shoes actually. If you like to feel controlled and connected, that's what you get with INOV8, and there's still a bit of that here. The mid-stack keeps you fairly close to the ground and, as I said, connected. I really like there's a sort of precision and agility to the shoe. It sort of lets you flow without quite as much concentration on foot placement as you're getting from some of the bigger shoes that we're getting now, particularly when things should, you know, if they get more cluttered. For me, it's another shoe that works best with a faster foot turnover. It kind of encourages you to do that. And while you can run in the road in okay comfort, I preferred it once I stepped off the road onto slightly softer ground. That still said it, you know, on that kind of firmer compact trails, it works well, but it will cope with a, you know, mix of terrain, even when you hit the really rock hard compacted stuff. But it feels more at home when the trail has just a little bit more give to it. As I said, I'm not sold on the heel package, and that would maybe prevent me taking this out for more than a couple of hours in a single stint. Not everyone might have that concern, but I do feel like there's potential for it to rub a bit. And from an underfoot ride perspective, I'd happily go longer hours in them if I wasn't getting that heel problem. So if you don't, then this will probably be a good shoe for you to clip along nice and light and lively over the long haul. Verdict then, and if you like INOV8 shoes but you've longed for something with a slightly softer edge to it, I think you'll like the Trialfly Max. But you're not going to sacrifice control, reliability or balance for it. Although you're getting more midsole protection, they still maintain what is like a natural connected feel that I think INOV8 shoes are really well known for, with that kind of decent ground feel, good agility, a healthy helping of precision in the foot placement. All of that is still here. It's basically like a regular INOV8, just with a bit more to it. And I really like the ride. For me, they lean a little more to the sort of slower efforts than out and out speed, but they're nimble and agile enough if you want to push things a little bit faster. Although they're called Max, I would say they're quite different to some of the bigger, higher stacked, sort of really soft and wide cushion trail shoes that we're seeing arrive now. Things like the Salomon Ultra Glide 3 or the North Face Vective Endurance 4, simply because they avoid some of the sort of wider, bulkier feel that comes with some of those shoes. Now, I still think you're going to have to be a fan of INOV8 style to really enjoy the Trialfly Max over some of the other long mileage shoes that are available. But if, like me, you like that more grounded natural ride, these offer that just with that extra cushion and energy. So there you have it. That's been my review of the INOV8 Trailfly Max. Hope you found it useful. Don't forget to hit like, maybe subscribe if you're in the mood to do so. If you're after good trail shoe recommendations, I'm going to pop a video up on the channel now that you should go and watch. Otherwise, as ever, thank you very much for stopping by and spending time with us. And until next time, happy running, people.